Hello, this video is for my Algebra 1 students. Today we're going to be on page 379 and 380, lesson 9.3. As you notice up on the board, part 1. We're only going to be doing the first 3 examples, and I have them written up right here, right now. We're multiplying polynomials. Polynomial being, one of these terms with multiple, like 7 and x. And 2x y squared. We just multiply. In this very first example, it says multiply 3x times x squared minus 7x plus 8. In a problem like this, we have in math what is called the distributive property. If I distribute something evenly, that means I give the same amount to everybody as I'm passing things out. Same thing happens here. This 3x is being multiplied to each term individually in this quantity, in this parentheses. So, excuse me, I show that 3x gets multiplied by the x squared. I like to draw arrows. Nothing says you have to. And this step right here where I'm showing that it's 3x times x squared, you do not have to do that, but I'm the teacher, so I'm showing. Then we're going to add another one. It's going to be 3x times 7x. Now you got to be careful. I could say this is minus 3x times 7x and have a minus here. Or I could say this is plus 3x times negative 7x. Either way works, just as long as you get that negative either here between this first multiplication and the second one, or as you're showing it as negative 7x. Lastly, we have 3x times 8. This will give me 3x cubed, x1 times x2 gives me x3. I'm doing a positive times a negative, positive 3x. My answer here is going to be negative. 3 times 7 is 21. X times x is x squared. And lastly, 3x times 8, 24x. Before I'm done, I have to make sure that none of these terms combined can be added or subtracted from each other. It just so turns out, because we have a monomial right here, a single number, times all of these in there, if we had been able to combine any numbers in the original problem, we'd be able to combine them here. But because I cannot combine x squared and 7x and 8, I can't make them any smaller, I can't combine any of those, I won't be able to combine any of these either. Now, the only time you can say that is when you have one number times that. Be careful, okay? Let's do the second one. It is 2xy squared times all of these terms, times 3x. Then it's 2x squared times negative 8xy. I'm not going to write it up this time. A little tedious, though I could. Okay, I've written up the first one. What is 2 times 3? It is 6. What is x1 times x1? That will give me x squared. Here's a y squared, and it doesn't have anything to multiply with in this second term in the quantity. That doesn't matter. We just write it down. That y squared isn't thrown away. It just didn't get to combine with anything. In this second one, I see it's going to be 2 times negative 8. So I will get a negative value here. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. x1 here times x1 there gives me x squared. Y squared times y1 gives me y to the 3 power, y cubed. We move on to the third term, 5y. 2 times 5, it's positive 2 times positive 5, so I get positive 10. X, there are no x's here To combine it with, again, it doesn't just get thrown away. It just gets put there, saved. We have y squared times y to the 1, and I get y cubed. For my last term, I've got 2 times negative 3. That will give me negative 6. X, there are no x's in here. Y squared. There are no y's in here, but there is a z. That will be negative 6x y squared z. There was nothing for those x, y's, and z's to combine with. Now I look back through here and I say, are any of these combinable? Are there any other terms with 2 x's and 2 y's? Well, this one has 2 x's but 3 y's. That has 1 x but 2 y's, and it also has a z. So those can't combine. This one has 2 x's and a y, 2 x's, 3 y's. Well, this one had 2 x's, 2 y's. Now we already dealt with that. This one has 1 x, 3 y's. They're similar, but they cannot combine. And lastly, the fact that this one has a z and none of the others have a z, it can't combine anything. So there's your final answer in that one. Second one. Can't combine those any further. Okay? Here is our third example. Now, things are going to change up a little bit because we have 2 numbers times 2 numbers. And we have to switch to what is called often what's called the FOIL method. I remember in 8th grade, 9th grade when I learned this, I missed that day. And I never knew what the teacher was talking about when she talked about the FOIL method. It stands for first, outer, inner, last. First, outer, inner, last. In other words, we have 2 numbers here, 2 numbers here. We're going to do the first numbers together. I am going to write this out this time. Excuse me, stumbling over my words. I'm going to multiply 3x times 2x. Then I'm going to multiply 3x times that negative 5. I'm going to put a plus there. It's 3x times negative 5. Now be careful, this is negative 7. Anytime you have negatives in there, you got to be real careful. My 8th grade teacher said, do this, make it plus negative 7. Now, I've got this 7. Okay, I'll back up. Those were the first 2 numbers. This is the first numbers. These are the outer numbers. The 3x and the negative 5. Now for the I, we're going to do the inner numbers. I'm going to do plus negative 7 times 2x. Those are the inner numbers. And then for the last one, we're going to do the last numbers. Negative 7 times negative 5. This will give me 6x squared. A positive times a negative will give me minus 15x. A negative times a positive will give me a negative 14x. And then a negative times a negative will give me a positive 35. There you have it. Now up here I said that when you had a monomial times a polynomial, if these didn't combine in the original problem, they're not going to combine in your answer. That is not always true, particularly when you have a polynomial times a polynomial. Okay? Here we got 6x squared, but look at our middle terms. We got negative 15x and negative 14x. Those are combinable. So these two combine. What's negative 15 minus 14? You're down 15 points. You lose 14 more points. It's a sad day out on the court. Minus 29x and then plus 35. That's all you can do for now. I'll give you your homework, and we'll cover the other examples in a later video. Thanks, guys.